Nice.
What's up, everybody? Back again, Warp Charge Gaming. It is Chris and I, and we do this every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This is episode maybe 75. I think I forgot to put the number of the episode. I've lost track, Chris. I really have.
I wasn't here last week, so I gotta be honest, man. Like, I get my head gets all jumbled.
I'm gonna have to manually count and shit. But we do this all the time, friends. And I hope you join us for many episodes to come and see the bat reps that we do on the channel. If this is your first time checking us out, we are generally speaking about tabletop wargaming, particularly 5 different games. Our channel was built around Warhammer 40K, and that is the passion that brought me into tabletop wargaming. Now, Chris, I mean, primarily that's been your game for a long time, right?
A decade and a half.
Yeah.
No, it's been a long, fun ride, and I gotta tell you, I see no need to back off. I love the exploration of new game systems. I mean, I can tell you, I've definitely waxed poetic on the deficiencies of 40K before. So seeing you share all of these new expanses in terms of what is like being explored, it's eye opening. You know, it's always nice to see just how big tabletop gaming is.
Yeah,
And Dark says, yes, we are episode 75.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, nice. So, speaking of lots of different game systems and where we are nowadays here, back in the day when I was in school and whatnot and starting out a college career, I was very interested in anthropology, the study of people. And, they always they talk about different countries, and there's I never really had a perspective back then of how that would apply in my normal life, as far as what I'm actually passionate about. And it's became more and more relevant, one through doing a bunch of music and seeing the kind of how the people's mind operates when it comes to throwing events, getting people to come to those events, community, and I've had a lot of analyzation of how that plays into gaming. Let's get old James on here. James, what's up, dude?
I was waiting the whole time. I was sitting here, just waiting.
We're waiting for you, dude. We're waiting for you. We are now officially started now that the illustrious James Schaff has joined Chris and I.
The triad has assembled.
Dude, so maybe my internet wasn't working, because I was sitting here just waiting.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Yeah, dang, dude. Well, you're here now, so welcome.
Warp Storm.
Taldark's with us. Apparently it's episode 75. Thanks for the heads up, Taldark. Lot of love. But yeah, we're just starting off the conversation. James was talking about who we are, Warp Charge Gaming, and how this episode has evolved, or our series here, into talking about tabletop wargaming in general. One, because I personally have continued to dive into more and more games, and we were just talking about the study of people and how I've been finding the more and more I'm becoming more and more observant and reflective of gamers, and what is it that constitutes someone being playing a game or picking up a new game, or what makes a person like a game, what makes people make friends with each other and play games as a community and continue to come to events. Another very interesting study of people is the difference between a competitive player versus a narrative or non-competitive player. And as a tournament organizer, Warp Charge Gaming throws many tournaments. We got 2 coming up this weekend. We do about 4 a month now, for this whole year pretty much. The experience I've had of, one, trying to take people that aren't interested in competitive and discovering why they're not, and trying to get them to feel welcome and desiring to come play in a competitive event. I think like a lot of times the word tournament in itself can turn people away. Or hell, there was even just recently a conversation on our local Facebook group, Richmond 40K, about what is the ITC and the independent tournament circuit, and what does that mean to a non-competitive player? If it's an ITC event, does that mean that it doesn't apply to them? Do they not care about that? There was a lot of people that the question that was posed from someone that was not familiar was, hey, tell me like a 5-year-old, what is the ITC? Right? And there was 10 different responses on the definition of what is the ITC to those people. And everybody had something to say about a tournament ranking system, right? And obviously it's highly developed around that. Frontline Gaming spearheaded it about 5 or 6 years ago, partnered up with Best Coast Pairings, the world's most awesome tournament app that is ran by many 40K events and beyond, that hosts over 55 different game systems. There's this whole ranking system, and that means competitive, but also I started to reflect, and nobody really mentioned, on just the value of the ITC missions in themselves. Whether you're a competitive player or not, just straight up, those missions are a better gaming experience than a rule book mission where it's like, okay, there's 5 objectives, there were 3 points apiece at the end of the game. Or the relic, like objective in the middle.
That is a little subjective, I
Sure.
think, though better, but I certainly agree with you as someone who doesn't appreciate the randomness. For example, like kill points. Every single edition of 40K, I have hated that kill points was a thing because it favored blatantly elite armies. You take MSU style lists, it literally, well, not blatantly favored elite style armies, but the standard Games Workshop missions, you could only score as many kill points as existed. It wasn't like, oh, if you killed everything, you got this many points. And it kind of discouraged certain kind of army building. So does the ITC, though.
Well, you're right that there is its own restriction. I see James is excited to make a comment there, but I think that the missions themselves add a depth to the game that would, it's almost like you're choosing to play a more boring version of the game if you're just wanting to line your models up, see who's left standing at the end, or play kill points, let's just kill each other. The depth of turn-by-turn scoring with the choices of secondaries, having that primary-secondary element, I don't know, all that stuff I find to be, and again, it is there's a lot of balancing elements to the ITC where they fix a lot of terrain rules. That's something we talked about on last week's episode, where they're new for SoCal Open and LVO Frontline, the head runners.
Wobbly model rule.
Yeah, making it so you can't put things that bases hang over ledges. James, what are you thinking about? The ITC definition to a narrative player, does it play a role? ITC missions or the ranking system, how does it apply to a non-competitive player?
Oh man, you just said so much right there. Well, what the ITC is just an independent tournament organization. So you can get ranked based off of other people. So if you travel, you can actually see how well you do amongst your peers across the nation, internationally, and you can look at it that way. Or you can see it as a way for someone to get their foot into the door and organize events and use their network to advertise that you have an event and have a standard rule set that your players know what to expect prior to coming to your event.
That's my favorite part. So go on.
So there is definitely this different aspects of how you view it. I tell people all the time, man, life is just perspective. You can look at things negatively, you can look at things positively. So you can see the tournament and competitiveness as a negative thing if you're just trying to have a casual game. But for some people like myself, this is how I play. So this is how I organize my gameplay instead of actually trying to go to the local game store and meet one person and have one game. I have 3 games with 3 different people, and it's them bringing their best and me bringing my best with my army, which is just pure corn. So I play fluffy. I get what I want out of the game, and it's kind of some people just kind of narrow and pigeonhole themselves. Where I feel man, it's a game. Play it. There's organized people willing to play you. Hey, you're gonna lose a game. You might lose 2 games if you're just playing a fluffy, these are the models I own. But hey, you still might win a game at the bottom tables. But I guarantee you'll learn something at each and every game you play with the models you just own going to the table. And no one's going to be an asshole to you if you're just nice to them.
Yeah, and see, what you bring up there is a point that I find interesting, and that's one of these factors that separate people from competitive to non-competitive. Is it a matter of not enjoying losing, and what does it mean to lose, right? I feel the losing is a learning experience, and if you enjoy learning and you enjoy overcoming obstacles and growing and getting better, then this is something you would embrace. where it seems like usually it's someone that's opposed to a challenge that is more engaged with the idea of avoiding those scenarios. And it's like now granted, so then it comes into another conversation about analyzing a cost of entry, right? So like now that I'm playing 5 different game systems, Age of Sigmar, 40K, Warcry, Kill Team, and Infinity, right? Only one of those is a non-GW game, but two of those, Kill Team and Warcry, are very accessible financially. Okay, and I think one of the things, besides whether you like to win or lose or not, it comes down to what the point of entry. If the 40K and Sigmar, one of the gripes I have is the chase of the pay to play, and the GW model. See, that's where it's not just player related, but the business model of the company. And getting in now, they certainly do plenty with Warcry and Kill Team to make it accessible for all. It's very cool the way they make game systems that use models you have in other game systems. All gravy. Those are good things. But when you talk about 40K and Age of Sigmar as competitive gaming, there are certain things about that turn people off because of the GW model, and maybe not whether they necessarily like or care about winning or losing. Maybe they definitely are competitive, like they want to play their best game. They don't mind losing. They like to learn from it. They'll tweak lists and everything like that. But a financial barrier is what makes it to get to a point where you're like, hands up, I give up. I can't continue to chase this meta. Whether it was the Eldar all flyer list and you're an Eldar player and you're just getting wrecked by something because you don't have flyers and you feel this need to get flyers, and you start to feel like, well, shit. I'm not going to play competitively because I just don't have what's the current thing that is competitive. I don't know. I just think that all these things are very interesting, and I guess as part of just the intro of the show, this is the kind of stuff we talk about, guys, as we talk about tabletop wargaming in general, highly based around 40K and other GW games, and now into Infinity. And I think there's a lot of correlations between playing different game systems that you can learn and grow from, and just the wider, and just like James said, perspective's everything. The more wide angle lens you're able to perceive things, the more you can come to appreciate or respect certain things as well. Or vice versa, hate on it with some authority, I guess. I'm trying to, these comments are flying by. I see we got Connor out there. Connor's Warp Charge Gaming. He also runs his own YouTube channel with his buddies called Next Run Gaming. They do competitive 40K tournament conversations, a lot of interviews with some awesome players in the community. So go check out Next Run Gaming.
Yeah, man, their latest episode, The Tank Man, that was a good one. I took a listen on that one. That tickled my fancy.
Nice. I didn't get the. Was that the Tau player that plays all mechanized Tau?
Yes.
Yeah, he was at the major event that we ran.
Yes.
So I'm sure that was a cool conversation. Man, I saw that guy, that player, have to go against a very salty opponent, and I really just would make a shout out. I really respected his professionalism in how he did not let the opponent get him on tilt with his attitude. So respect to that.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, James. Justin Little says hi to you, buddy. Cookies and sandwich, nice. What we got here? So them models make me want to collect Eldar, but I can't seem to tear my soul out of my body and burn it in a trash bin in order to get a pointy-eared player. Respect to that, Tau Dark. Yeah, they are a bunch of trash. All those Eldar players.
Hard to be an Eldar player, apparently.
Warp Charge is, Connor plays Eldar, but we generally have a general hate for the pointy-eared bastards.
I can't lie, man. Connor has made me hate Guardians.
Yeah. Those cheesy. Honestly, it's the fact that their powers don't require line of sight that upsets me.
Really?
It's usually the aggravating factor for me.
I just hate Guide and Doom.
Guide and Doom.
They're just so good.
The sons of bitches, man. And then Jinx, that's gross too. Like,
Also
for non-Eldar players, we sure do know their powers well. You son of a bitch, Connor.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Everyone's about to hate Eldar a lot more. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we're ready to get off the topic on like the ITC and what that means in terms of missions. But that new Eldar box set is dropping with the new Jane Czar and Drazar models.
This is a positive. New models is always good.
It's. I will say this box is getting a lot of hate, and I think it is not getting some deserved love because this is one of the few new box sets we're seeing where all of the models in it are basically new sculpts, except for I think what a wave serpent. We're seeing a lot of new models in general, um, but we're not getting the same value we're used to seeing out of these boxes. The savings on this box are only about, I think, like 120 MSRP, and
How
I've
much is it?
seen
180
it's
bucks?
it's going to be like 220 is what I was seeing. So it's pretty pricey. It's a hefty tag. It has all the new data sheets. It has a campaign and some stuff in there, but it does not have the Psychic Awakening books in there as of yet. It's just kind of the setup. And yeah, I think people are. I've seen so much saltiness over the price point, man. I'm kind of shocked myself. I've gotten into it with a few people just of difference of opinion, just like, man, like just let the box drop. Let's see what it has before we start burning down the house. You know what I mean?
What
Like,
is this, Blood of the Phoenix box here?
yes, I think that's
Yeah.
what it's called.
Yeah, I just found a image of it. I just pulled it up on screen. With this box, I
But
find two mighty armies.
well,
What?
and another point that I made that some people have disagreed with me on is that this is a box you can buy as an Eldar player and use the entirety of the box. Like it's not like you have to sell half of the box because you don't play AdMech. Like if you play, the faction of Eldar, you can use everything in this box.
Yeah. I think that's something to be respected, you know? Sometimes they definitely, man, these models are sweet, dude. I'm looking at them for the first time.
Oh yeah, no, the new Howling Banshees, the new Drazar model, the new Jane Zar model, they are artful. I mean, they very badly needed new sculpts. And yeah, I'm super impressed. The new Clavex model, it's awesome.
So we got Connor on. We should have got Connor on the old episode here. What I wonder what kind of new rules they have to go with it. Is there any talk of how good that's going to be?
So we have updated Jane Zar rules. We have some updated the Clavex and the basically the characters all got new rules. And there may or may not be some of the new stratagem stuff in there.
Are they not? They're
Um,
not really getting. This is like kind of supplemental though. We're not really getting like a rework of the Craft Worlds book. Is that what's happening?
no, we're gonna see much more of that when we actually get the very first what's it called, Psychic Awakening book for them, because that is promising already, and we've actually seen a few other channels cover it that have gotten their previews in and stuff like that. Like they have, a whole new set of kind of like the build your own chapter kind of rules. Connor said he's happy to hop on and talk up the Elder. He would know better than I do, but like I know we've seen like shuriken weapons for one option, kind of the chapter tactic. They can get like an extra negative AP. You can get your Wraith Host stuff to like get reroll ones to wound. It's basically unlocking like whole new chapter tactics, some of which are not specific to a specific craft world. So I think like the Wraith Host one, for example, I think you could be any craft world with that, and that's pretty awesome. You're going to see some new sauce come out of stuff like that.
Okay. I just sent Connor a link. We'll see if we get him in here speaking his expertise on the
That
Eldari.
pointy eared.
Yeah, it's against my better desires, but I'm sure people would like to know more. And Connor's definitely an expert when it comes to the pointy-eared
Oh
bastards.
yeah, oh yeah. Beyond that, it's a cool new box set. It is setting the stage for this campaign that everyone is sort of waiting for. George, at the beginning of the episode, you kind of mentioned a little bit of, I think, like 40K fatigue in terms of rules and stuff, um, especially exploring other game systems. I'm kind of at a point of fatigue where, like, I'm so ready for Psychic Awakening to start releasing books. Like, we've seen the new Marine stuff, but I want to know what this campaign is.
Right, right. Connor, welcome.
What's up, guys? Super stoked to be here.
Nice.
What's up, man?
Glad to have you, buddy. So
So,
we need you to tell us all about it, bud.
all right, yes. So, yes. So the stuff that we know about Psychic Awakening right now is we know some of the rules for the new characters. We know some of the special abilities for the Exarchs, for the Aspect Warrior shrines,
Like the
and we
stratagems and stuff.
And so, like, that stuff is all cool, but I'm going to talk about the most exciting thing first. The most exciting thing, in my opinion, as a big time Eldar guy, is that we are getting customizable craft world traits. So just like the Space Marines have their
That's
own like successor chapter
I'm
tactics,
stoked on this.
dude, the fucking Eldar are gonna get that, a decent. So I know that the Space Marines have the ability to be the successor of a established chapter, so you can be like an Ultramarine successor and get access to Ultramarines stratagems and characters. I believe is how that works. At least stratagems, if not characters. It's funny though because the Eldar, at least the craft worlds, are not going to have access to that from what GW said. So rather than being like a Bealtan or an Alatok successor, you're going to be your own craft world because that's just how the Eldar fluff works. There aren't like the craft world's like a big spaceship, so it's going to be your
Yeah.
own one-off craft world. So the thing that I find very exciting about that is I think that we may very well see much more powerful, and this is just speculation, much more powerful craft world attributes. Because based off of one of the attributes that I saw, that is going to be the most disgusting thing for what I like to play, is all 12-inch shuriken weaponry is going to get a -1 AP. So like, Chris, picture the
Boo.
bro, like
Nerd.
the Guardian bomb with 40 shots of shuriken is going to be AP1 by itself,
I mean,
and
that
it's
on
like
the table.
yeah,
Get out, Connor! Get
dude,
out
it's like
of
I'm telling you,
here!
dude, that shit is
Well,
gonna destroy people.
I mean, Connor, like just thinking of a real world example that's come up in our games tons of times. You know, if you got Guardians with Doom and Guide shooting against like my Hive Tyrant, that basically means you're forcing my invuln instead of me taking my trip armor save all
Dude,
the time.
and like you know what else is crazy, dude? Like with Jinx, they're AP2. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So that drops me from literally a 4-up save to a 5-up save.
yeah, like you get, it's crazy, dude. It's just and like they're gonna shred knights, they're gonna shred marines now because AP1 really mitigates the toughness of that armor save on them.
It's
And
gonna
just
Especially if
having
they're in
it
cover.
help
and
on
like
those rubric marines a little bit too.
yeah, and James. So James and I were talked a lot at Nova about lists and how I love Guardians, and there was like some, you know, we were like, you know, they're good by themselves, but they really need a lot of help to be very good. Like before this change, Guardians really needed Doom and Jinx, and I'll get off Guardians in a second, but they needed Doom and Jinx to be like super effective. At this point, if they just have AP1 naturally, they just got like a ridiculous power increase. Um, and the crazy part is, it's if everything else with the Eldar book lines up with how Marine successors work, they're gonna get two. Like you're gonna have Guardians with
Right.
AP1 and something else.
Which is dope. See, so like as much as that might be like unexciting to hear about being on the back end, like being on the receiving end of that negativity of the awesomeness of the -1, -2, whatever.
Yeah.
As we've been saying, with this is exciting to me because it kind of correlates with ever since the Space Marine rules came out, we've been discussing that the good part about that is it tells that there's exciting things to come for everybody.
Yes.
And the fact that
Suggested
that's
precedent.
now that kind of precedence has been repeated with the Eldar, we can expect to see this with the Heretic Astartes. We can expect this to be a case with Orcs and every other faction, really. Hopefully, the build your own concept is great in general. One for narrative reasons and for competitive reasons. It's a good move by GW, I think, and it's an
100%.
easy way to add rules without necessarily rewriting books too.
Strong agree.
Hey,
Dude, it's what's up, James?
what about when salamanders walk up and say, "We ignore neg 1 AP"?
Dude, that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Ah,
You know? It's because I'm still gonna get them because I'm still gonna have so much other stuff going on, and so I'll also talk about the Dark Eldar stuff that they pointed out. So there's like some Dark Eldar it looks like Dark Eldar are going to take the successor model, so they're going to be a successor cabal of like the Blackheart, or if it's Witch Cult, they're going to be a successor cult of Strife. So they're like, it seems like they're going to get the stratagems and abilities of those cabals that exist in the books, unlike Craft Worlds. And some of the standout stuff that I was reading on the post for the Cabal and the Witch Cult is that the Cabal are going to get damage 2 on 6s for poison weapons, which is super good against everything, especially against Primaris Marines. And one of the crazy, so the two crazy Witch Cult abilities are witches are going to be able to have a 3++ invuln in combat, which is nuts. And they're going to be able to get +1 to, and these are two separate abilities, but they could get a 3++, or they could get +1 to wound against vehicles and monsters with 10 or more wounds. So like, just like George was saying, all this stuff just bodes super well for the future of the game, because everything is going to become so turned up and ridiculous. It's not going to be like any one faction is just dick stomping everybody, which I think is just super awesome.
I think it also speaks well to the game because my faction isn't getting done early, so hopefully they continue to creep and then Eldar get left in the dust.
You mean the Tyranids or the Gene Circle?
Yes.
Either.
Well, because the Tyranids came right. If I think they're redoing the cycle. So if the Tyranids were right after Eldar last year, so you might be coming up soon.
One thing they've suggested, actually, and I mentioned this too, Connor, on another episode, there's actually on Amazon already a locked-in date for a Tyranid novel in November, which they usually release with Codex.
Very nice.
November.
But beyond that, some organization, one of the popular 40K stream organizations, was suggesting that the release order for Psychic Awakening's factions are actually all in order from left to right and from top to bottom on the chart Games Workshop put up that was like listing all of the faction icons, because the first ones are the Eldar ones. So it's possible they literally have told us the release order, and it's just that we don't know.
I'm gonna look that up because the other interesting tidbit about Psychic Awakening is that Harlequins have not been mentioned yet.
Really?
It's only Dark Eldar and Craft World, so it looks like Harlequins are going to get their own thing.
They have said they're going to do like the chart that had all of the faction icons did list every single faction.
They even listed, I believe Yunari is on there. I'm not 100% sure, but they did also mention that in the box set that's coming out next week with the pre-order up tomorrow. So folks, go to Battlegrounds, pre-order your shit.
That's right.
At Battlegrounds.
That's right.
You can even call in. You can even email.
Yep, we ship.
All these super fire books are going to be, excuse Scott. Got people
cruising in.
Roommate returned. But all these books are so available at Battlegrounds. But the thing that's interesting about the Harlequins, right, is they have such a limited model range. I think there's it's like sub 15 data sheets in that codex. I think it's like under 12 data sheets in that codex. So maybe, just maybe, new Harlequin models. Rumor mill is starting here on the live show of Warp Charge Gaming.
Wow.
Which would be so gnarly if we got some new Harlequin stuff. I'd be so pumped about that.
Taudark did some clarification. He said that the first two icons on the announcement are actually Guard, then Chaos, then Eldar, then Dark Eldar, Harlequins, and then Deathwatch.
Oh damn!
Never mind. That's rumor quashed. Never mind.
It was, but the Harlequin rumor might be true. So at least one rumor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Make Soul Grinders great again. Every time people keep saying that,
make Soul Grinders great.
Every time people talk about Iron Warriors, new Space Marines, new Eldar, whatever, I only imagine 3d6 charging bloodletters. That's always what comes to my brain. I'm like, they're still gonna die the same. I'm gonna charge them. I'm gonna slice them up. It's like all right, I'm gonna get my woofing out. Like my lists are only becoming more bizarre, silly, and one-sided. And they're very much like, I don't care what you got, this is what I got. You deal with that, good luck.
Nice.
That is my strategy. Just ignore everything and make something really wacky. Not saying that's a good one.
It's amazing.
So, Connor, what else is on these chopping block on some of these build your own Eldar factions?
Well, I'm more curious about Yanari. Is Yanari even like brought up into this conversation?
So Yanari got mentioned. They're just going to reprint the rules that were in White Dwarf. So it's not going to be like, it doesn't seem like anything new is coming
sad.
out.
That's pretty sad, bud.
So what you're saying is the
it's okay.
Y-Karn is still not good.
She is still like way too many points is her problem.
Poor Y-Karn.
Yeah. I mean, she's like 400 points and she can't fight twice anymore.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So it's just not very good.
Taldark mentioned that it's that's a lot of stuff to fit in 1 year, and it's going to be a very aggressive schedule. I think that they've proven to us now that they're all about that. I mean, with the release of just look at Kill Team in 1 year. You know, we go Kill Team, we go Kill Team Commander, Kill Team Elites, Kill Team Arena. It's like 4 different expansions of the game in less than a year. Warcry, they're rapid fire in the games. I'm still sad we don't have Battlefleet Gothic and that we don't have maybe updated Blood Bowl. Maybe I missed out on Blood Bowl, but I wouldn't mind that game being a thing.
Well,
Blood Bowl seems cool.
I know that the Marines coming out are not necessarily full books, but they almost might as well be. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned. Yeah. They're after the Codex Space Marine update. You know, all of these supplements plus the parent codex is basically an individual drop, and they've been aggressively pushing out the new Marines. Like we've gotten like 5 in a window of like 2 months.
Yep. Yeah, I just basically don't disbelieve anymore that they're going to be fast. The times of them being like very slow paced with release schedule has been gone since 8th edition. They've really
gotta get that money.
Kicked up that pace. Yeah, they're pretty genius on the marketing. Not only do they put out more games, but they also raise prices and make smaller, differentiations of value there.
I mean, it's kind of like Chris was saying with the new box is expensive, man.
220 is a lot as a price point. Like under 200 is usually, I think, the kind of like where people's eyes get a little green and like I'm gonna pick up 2 of those. But like 220, I mean, you're looking at like, man, I could buy a big Forge World model for that money.
I mean, it makes me sad to say, but like I'm not buying that box, man.
Right. Well, I mean,
you're done goop, Connor. Because they're going to release the stuff in the box individually, and then they're going to jack up the price of everything individually. Like the box is still going to be.
I mean, bro, I'm gonna tell you. If I was buying it, I would buy it from Battlegrounds RBA.
That's right.
Oh,
Battlegrounds.
I'm saying the only thing I want in that damn box set is the 2 characters.
That's how I felt about the Tooth and Claw book, had the Abominant character, and I waited 4 months, and then they just released the character on its own.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And like, I think that those, like I said, like I'm pumped about Psychic Awakening. I think Jane Czar's model is sick. My only gripe with the whole thing is I just don't think that she's like that. She didn't really change. Like she still basically does the same thing. She like ignores Overwatch and is like a decent beat stick.
15-inch charge, man.
Yeah, I mean it's cool, but like the thing that George and I actually learned in 40K really early on is like the second, like remember the phalanx, George?
Yeah.
Like bro, the second you start flinging characters out past your defenses, they just die.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They get murdered.
I've never sent a Brood Lord ahead of my forces only to have it get waxed. That's never happened.
I mean,
before.
Chris, we've shared that experience. But it's like, in general though, like that's my only thing where I'm kind of like, like this Psychic Awakening stuff. These craft world attributes are gonna change the game for Eldar, without a question.
Which messes with the meta, changes the meta up. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm happy about these things for sure. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wanted to shout out the Field of Fire gaming tournament, George. That's cool.
Yeah.
So the Crozius GT is November 9th. It's a 32-man GT down in North Carolina. The guys at Field of Fire Gaming are super cool dudes. Mm-hmm. They're putting it on, and I'm going. I just got to ride down there, and I bought my ticket. And I was
Cool.
talking to the TO, and he said that all this Psychic Awakening stuff is going to be accepted at the tournament.
Awesome.
So I'm like chomping at the bit for these rules, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
get it all set up. Well, that's
it's
very
gonna be
cool.
amazing.
Yeah, and big shout out to the crew out there. Field of Fire Gaming, Jordan and Dean are awesome folks, and I'm glad you're making a trip out there, man. You know,
Yeah, dude.
speaking of tournaments, maybe Warp Charge will toot its horn a little bit. Got a little flyer here.
Oh yeah.
Kablam! The cool thing about Connor joining us on this episode is Connor's also going to come and be a guest host here this weekend. I appreciate you, Connor, coming out and doing some judging for us because I have an opportunity to play my very first Infinity tournament, and I'm a total freak show. I don't do anything lightly. I am dived headfirst into Infinity. So on Saturday, I will be playing that while kind of helping keep everything, the wheels on the bus, and helping Connor get everything set up appropriately for the tournament. But this Saturday is going to be a great time. We got Dark Bunny coming out from the Raleigh area. I know we got quite a bit of people that seem to be coming to this event. So I'm excited for this particular one. And then Sunday, the day right after Saturday, is going to be Age of Sigmar tournament. So come see us and come play that as well. So a doubleheader this weekend. It's a big weekend, very excited. I'm playing Infinity, this 40K, and Age of Sigmar. Battlegrounds is the place to be when it comes to awesome events. And I was about to say tournament, but I like to say event too, because it's a chance to play 3 games with a bunch of different people and go against a bunch of different armies. It's a good thing. We just did a kill team tournament. And then, so that we do that every month as well. You guys can always go back and see many streams of us filming these events. The 40K tournament will be on stream this Saturday. Age of Sigmar will be on stream this Sunday. And then we set up Warcry for November 3rd for our second Warcry event here at the store. I was pretty proud to take home the Warcry event at the last one. Good times. That guy goes up there. And yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. Games are great, and I cannot love it more. Let me show you guys a picture of this sweet Infinity table, just while I'm running through some images here. After getting into the game, I'd never built an Infinity board, and I got to use some of the awesome Death Ray design terrain that we have, the Forgotten Outpost. And it was cool that it's always been like, functional in 40K, but I was really impressed at how operational and like almost intended it was for Infinity. Which Death Ray Designs does make great Infinity terrain in general. So I'm totally in love. Here's a snapshot of some of the models that are almost done being commissioned. I'm going to have these delivered tomorrow. These wolf boys here. I'm playing essentially the Space Wolves inside of Infinity. It's funny how a lot of the factions in that game are very able to be correlated with Tyranids, 40K factions. And
Everything is Tyranids.
Typically, 40K players will find themselves playing a faction that is very similar to what they enjoy in 40K. Here's a look at my Ariadna, the Russians that were the first to go exploring the universe whenever space travel became a thing. The thing about Infinity, not 40,000, it's 175 years in the future. And my faction, my faction, the Ariadna, they went in the ship they were traveling in was called the Ariadna, and it had the Russians, USA, the French, and the Scottish. All jumped onto this ship to go on an expedition.
What's the punchline?
Well, they got stuck. They went through they went through a wormhole and did not come back out the other side, and they were trapped on this planet for 175 years. And then later on, as time progressed and space travel became more reliable, and they, conquering the stars kind of thing, the human race refound the Ariadna, the lost people, and they're on this planet is a bunch of werewolf type beings, semi-sentient wolf people. And so these wolf people, they had a little bit of skirmishes with. Eventually, kind of had they got bit, turned into some were people themselves. It's super cool, man. I actually love the lore, and crazy enough, more so than I ever got into 40K lore, I'm actually just eating it up. I'm reading and watching videos on the backdrop. It's really cool, man. I don't know what about it, but I'm just sucked in hard.
That is really cool.
I'm a freak, I guess, but it's got me by the heartstrings, man. I can't even think. Me and Connor were gonna play a game this Friday, and I went to build a list, and I just couldn't get excited, man. It was tough. Now, granted that Connor's getting ready to make some content for Frontline Gaming, and he wanted to have, a very good-looking bat rep that had a lot of great-looking models, and all I wanted to play was a whole bunch of woofing. My current list right now is 25 woofing, 2 units of 10 and a unit of 5, Relic Leviathan Dreadnought with double storm cannon arrays, a quad launcher rapier carrier to take care of the relic rule, a BJ Ron or Bjorn, Murder Fang, and a Wolfguard battle leader with a jump pack. So it's just ridiculously elite. Three characters, 25 Wolfen, and a Relic Leviathan Dread is pretty much the story. I'm excited about it. Like that sounds fun. I think probably why I'm more excited though is I get to use my wolf people from Infinity as Wolfen.
So you've got like 25 like wolf dudes you can run.
Well, I have 15 Wolfen legit. 10 of them are only primed, but I will have 10 more actual like werewolf dudes that are on the same base, same physicality. That'll be perfect Wolfen proxies.
Super gnarly.
It's gonna be super cool.
Well, the folks can tune in tomorrow to watch a game, though, correct? Between me and Mike?
Yeah, true,
Are we going to stream that?
Yeah. So Connor's going to be playing Mike, and Mike has a dope list. I'm loving what Mike is doing with Necrons.
Dude, I'm a fan.
Mike's a fucking mad scientist, dude.
Yep. I just love the creativity, the originality, and the fact that it's a non-standard way you're going to see Necrons played. I like win, lose, or draw. Like it's going to always be a fun game and like a oh shit moment, especially if you're not even expecting it. So I'm excited about that. I would wish to see a Seraptic hit the table a little bit more. That thing is sick, man.
Oh man, that thing is not to be trifled with.
It put some work down, dude. He was playing in the last 40K tournament we had, and he was up actually against Dean from Field of Fire Gaming. Dean came to visit Battlegrounds for his first time, and they played on stream round 2. You guys can go check that out from last month. And poor Mike forgot to move his Seraptic. He forgot to move it. And like literally there was this big, Dean was playing Pure Dark Angels because it was the Highlander event. And he had a whole squad of those, the ones that are like especially, they're like Deathwing Knights or something like that. They're like wearing robes and shit. They were especially good ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Terminator guys, yeah.
Yeah, and he was just standing right across from him. What's up, PLK? Good to have you, man. They were just standing right down the way. All he had to do was move, no brainer charge. But he did not move. He did not get to fight the guys, and it was so sad. And I was like, dude, this sucks. We're gonna see the Seraptic just whiff, and didn't make his charge, just gonna die. But then, Dean moves and charges Seraptic, and gets the guys that he was supposed to charge in the first place just wiped. So the Seraptic just took all the blows and it took it down after forgetting to move and charge. It was awesome.
Dude, that thing is nasty, man.
Yeah, it puts down the work. And it looks tight as hell, so, nothing not
George, that guy, bless me, I can't remember his name. The guy who, like, comes to Kill Team, a super nice dude, plays Orcs. I think his name is Seth.
Yeah, you're thinking of Seth Haywood, also known as, not your Snigrot, he's Ed Banger. That's his tag name online, yeah.
Unless I'm getting totally confused right now, Seth is a really cool dude who hooked me up with a great deal for like a bunch of Eldar stuff.
That's
that
right, Seth.
I am bringing tomorrow to the stream. I'm going to be bringing some Howling Banshees, some Dark Reapers. So we're going to have some pure Craft World Eldar action tomorrow, kind of like as a titillating teaser of things to come for the Eldar. I'm just thinking, man, like this shit with some new Craft World traits is just going to be so good.
I gotta ask Connor, with the AP1 Shuriken weapons, is the 120 Guardian list gonna get fielded?
Dude, honestly, like, I think that'll only ever be a troll list because, like, 60 of them would be really good, and then 60 of them would be Yannari, and they'd still be really bad. Because the trick with the 120 Guardians is you can deep strike with 2 different stratagems using the Yannari deep strike and the Eldar deep strike.
Well, you can't multi-doom or multi-guide.
Yeah, because you can only you can't keep 120 off the board unless 60 of them are Yannari, basically. Mm-hmm. But dude, I mean, 60 Guardians, at least 40 is gonna be, and that's what I've been doing for forever. So like. It's gonna be
Trash Meta, dude. PLK 455 said he's working on 100 Skatari list. I love Trash Meta is cool. Trash Meta is cool, man. We call it Trash Meta. Sometimes people trust the trash or trush, and it's basically you basically run a list full of the pawns of your army or the trash units, the sacrificial lambs.
George, I would love to play. I hope we can get down on a stream game when the Psychic Awakening shit happens, dude.
Sure. Yeah, I might be running 25 Wolfen, but yeah.
Dude, that's totally cool. My only thing was I wanted to get this shit written up for FLG, but I totally want to get a game in against your 25 Wolfen with my new Psychic Awakening madness, dude. Because I'm just so excited. Like I can't contain it.
Yeah, I can't. Right now, I'm really underwhelmed on making a cool chaos list. It's not just the same old, same old.
Yeah. Why don't you just run your big toys?
Yeah, that's typically what I default to when I can't think of anything else.
Right.
I was thinking about trying to run something like what James is running. Like I wonder, what got me super sad is the damn fact that Forge World drop pods can't come in turn 1. That's what got me like, man, I don't even want to make a list. I was like, I'll bring Dreadclaws. Yeah, I'll bring some Dreadclaws. I'll bring some Berserkers. It'll be cool. I'll bring the one that can hold. There's a Carabidus that can hold like 20 models in it. I'm like, this will be exciting. But no, it's like turn 2's fine, but like I can't get the Alpha Strike, and I don't know. Wasn't pumped. I need to figure out something that's exciting to play with Chaos right now. James, what are you excited to run with Chaos right now? You're still doing the same old corn? You're working on Zangors? What are you doing?
Bro.
Tell me.
So I was at a tournament last weekend.
Tournament.
It was like a 32-man RTT. All right. And we drove like 4.5 hours to get there.
Damn.
Strong.
I played my first game against the Knights, and I smashed them.
Okay.
It's just all corn.
This is your new corn list, right?
Yeah.
Remixed or whatever.
And the
yeah.
Catan.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the second one is Chaos Knights, all Chaos Knights. So I'm normally a proponent of the explosion mechanic, right? Like I'm like a fan of randomness. Well, this is the time I was not a fan of randomness.
Uh-oh.
Because this is story time. He goes first. He seizes on me. He does some things. I'm still good. Then I come up. I smash both knights. He uses the stratagem. One knight blows up on a 4-up. Kills a lot of stuff, but I'm still like in the game. I kill the other knight. It blows up on a natural 6 and wipes out the rest. I'm left with like a rhino and like 4 berserkers left. He killed over 1,000 points in my turn because his shit blew up.
Wow.
So, needless to say, I lost that game. And, I lost the one after that because I played the new AdMech transports, Plasma.
The jumping out of the transports, turn 1 thing. Yeah,
that was a lot of fun to deal with.
Yeah.
But I still did fairly well as far as things went. Shout out to, I forgot where that place was, but it was far north Wisconsin. They were awesome,
Wisconsin!
They gave prize support to like everybody, bro.
All right.
And it was crazy. I was like, damn. And it was like more than your entry. There was like 4 people that were like, I didn't get anything. Even with like losing 2 games, dude, I got $40 and I got Legos, dude. They had Legos.
Okay.
Strength.
Hey,
right.
You could like put those on the floor by your opponent's table edge and win.
Taking fun seriously.
You get it for the kid, bro. Come home, give it to the kid. I went to a tournament. I won this for you, bro. And then he wants me to go to tournaments. So then I'm like, hey, Mom, you want to like let me go? And he's like, yeah, Mom, let him go.
Yeah, smooth. Smooth.
He's in there for the long haul.
See, I would have been like, sorry, kid, these are my Legos.
Nah, man. Games players normally don't have Legos, bro. When this one did, I was like, I have to get Legos.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
dope.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Strong
But
move.
I'm loving my new corn list. It is super strong, super nasty. because I'm only losing my games that I lost, which are like the dude who like beat me in the Knights. I had him numbered. He knew I had him numbered, and that was just complete fluke. And he won the tournament. And the dude
Mm.
who beat me with the AdMech, he got like a secondary prize for getting all set, like maxing out in secondaries every game.
Oh, neat.
Nice. That's a
So
cool
like
one.
Yeah, that's a cool
every,
one. I haven't heard that one.
every person I played was like smashing other people, and like I felt like I did a good showing even though I had 2 losses because like my army was just so nasty because it
Sure,
takes the
boy.
hit, but like I'm already in your face to like smash you. And like it is just so much fun. Like it's amazing what could happen if you just give Berserkers +1 attack.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, same way with Space Woes, man. It's like a whole nother army that's like fun to play again. Yo, we had a question from PLK. Chris went to answer it, but just so we got everybody's attention on it, you got a question about the new drop pod for the new drop point rules. Maybe you meant drop pod rules. Can I react with a dead mark reactionary deep strike in turn 1 to a turn 1 drop pod deep strike? So I think what he's talking about is the death marks for Necrons and how like
Oh shit.
when someone deep strikes in, you can respond with your own and get to shoot them in their turn. And I think he's asking if does he get to react to the drop pod itself, or can he react to the guys that come out of the drop pod?
You know,
I
I
mean,
think that's in an FAQ somewhere, and this is just off of memory, but I think that the drop pod protects them.
yeah, that's what Auspex. That was the ruling for, I believe, Auspex scan as well. Or maybe I'm not thinking Auspex scan, but for stuff that is a deep striking transport, you don't get to shoot at the guys that come out of the transport. You get to shoot at whatever physically brought them into the game.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah, Mike agrees. Also, our resident Necron player. I haven't ran into the situation very much, but it's nice for drop pod players to have that protection, and it makes sense. You know, it makes sense. We like it when it makes sense.
For sure.
Yo, James, so you're playing all this
Yeah.
corn, but you keep painting Tzeentch and Thousand Suns. Yeah, I see. I got your Armon picture up here.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing, man? Are you corn or are you Tzeentch, dude? I don't get it.
Dude, you gotta know thy enemy, bro.
True.
Gotta know thy enemy, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Are you?
Blood for the change, God.
Is this more of the 1,000 points you've been building for a team tournament, and then
Yeah.
moving it along?
Yeah.
Okay, well he's looking good, man. Good work as always.
Yeah, I figured
Ooh,
he'd be done. I figured he'd be done by now, and I have not been able to the last 2 days work on this guy because I've been setting up a fish tank.
Oh, fish tanks are cool.
Fish tanks are cool, bro.
Yeah, it's like a whole world in and of itself. Like you can go to like fish tank conventions and stuff, man.
Dude, I went to one on Sunday.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow. He's like, yeah, I know, dude.
It makes me laugh because the dude who got the mutual connection for me and George is a friend named Cody, and when we started playing 40K at his house, a lot of the terrain we would use out the gate, they had a bunch of aquariums and terrariums. Would be like literally like like these underwater buildings and stuff from like aquarium stuff.
That's awesome. That's super cool. I
Yo,
love 40K right now. Good damn.
It was a super busy weekend for me. I mean, I drove like 4.5 hours to a tournament, 4.5 hours back, then a fish expo after that.
You crazy, man. Yo, this it's been nothing but crazy for me as well, man. Oh, I got still got your image up there. It's been a crazy week. I actually got a little picture I'll share here of a fun show. I just played a show this past Friday called the Carnival of Five Fires, and did a lot of prep up into that. There's a look at the large crowd. There's like 1,000-some people out there, man. It was fantastic. Bunch of fire spinners. Made a cool video that you guys can go check out on my the old Facebook and whatnot. But that's been going on, and then this week it's called the Week of Rock for me because me and my one of my clients that I do audio engineering for, we've been working on a rock album for like over a year now, and we're just like trying to get these final touches down. So the last like 4 days has been nothing but a bunch of music for like 6-7 hours throughout the day, and then come to Battlegrounds and rock a bunch of games and work on videos and shit. So it's been very intense. There's been very little time with my lovely wife, and been much time with doing shit. And it's all been very awesome shit. But time, man, such a precious commodity, right?
Dude, one of the most.
So much so. Dude, I watched a cool video. I forgot the guy's name, but I was looking more into Skillshare, something we talked a little bit about last week on the channel about how we'd like to come up with a Warp Charge kind of Skillshare. I'm thinking about kind of making this, there's a lot of like, Nights at the Game Table and stuff. There's a lot of like paywalled exclusive coaching and information that you can get from other content producers. I'm looking to do that both for gaming and for just kind of my technical skills. I've been getting a lot of questions about how we set up our stream rig, kind of cameras we use, how to build, also just like questions about being a judge and how to build community. So I'm looking to create some courses that Skillshare is an awesome platform for, where you basically pay $10 a month and you have like 30,000 plus videos of online classes you can take, from how to do video editing, Photoshop, you name it. So much information, basically whatever somebody's an expert in and creates a class in, you can go learn that information from these sources. We want to make a platform on there as well, teach the ins and outs of all these different game systems we play, how to build great lists, good etiquette, and then just, then we get James doing painting tutorials, etc. Gonna make it kind of a community funded kind of concept. But I was learning more about Skillshare, and I watched this cool video where this guy was teaching a seminar, and he was just talking about value, right? It made me think of you a little bit about James, because he was a graphic designer, artist, right? And in his class, the question that was posed to him was, what do you charge for a logo? Tell me about the breakdown of what you would charge for a logo. And he got like an interesting look in his eye and kind of looked at them mischievously like, well, all right, what would you guys charge for a logo? And he just started getting all these random numbers from people, like, all right, $500. All right, I would do a package for like $2,000. He's like, all right, what's in that package? He was just asking all these questions, pulling this information out of him. And what the overall like consensus of the topic was it's about value, and that not every single person you would present this. Like people were talking about it on an hourly basis. This is where I was jumping off the time concept we were just talking about, and just that time is one of our most valuable commodities. And the thing that was interesting about his question, or like what he was bringing up, is that like, okay, if I say that my logo is $18,000, and you can, and then you say, okay, I'll take it, and then all of a sudden he just writes on a piece of paper and hands you your logo. I guess this is like a Picasso thing and stuff. Like if it takes them, it's like, is it about time that it took them to make that $18,000 logo, or is it about the value that like, is it about what it achieves once you have it? And it was just a very interesting concept about like, if he spent a lifetime to get to a mastery of being able to come up with a logo in 5 seconds that would be the brand for your company that goes on all these billboards and all this shit, and he could do it that fast, should he be penalized? Because if you were charging an hourly rate, you're expecting like $300 an hour or something. And when you do 40 hours of work, that equals $18,000. Well, if somebody can do it faster than that, isn't that valuable to you as a person seeking someone's service, that it comes fast and immediate? Or do you feel like you're being ripped off because it didn't take them much time? So I don't know, just random blabbering there, but it was I found it very interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah, some random shit. Which is usually what happens when we reach the hour mark, guys. We're about to hit the old 60 minutes. Is there anything that Chris, James, Connor, that we want to jump on before we got a great weekend coming up? Connor's filming a game tomorrow with our buddy Mike. Necrons vs. Craft World. Saturday's 40K. Sunday's Age of Sigmar. We got Warcry November 3rd, and basically it's freaking October, man. There's lots of shit going on. What about you guys? Anything particular before we get off here?
So PLK's proposed a question about our website. I know it's an issue that we've seen voiced before, but apparently the Warp Charged main site sometimes redirects to not the
Yeah.
most. It's a technical issue we're having at the moment, PLK. Something we've seen. I know that you can reach the website correctly. It
Yeah.
just doesn't always route correctly. There is some kind of issue with out routing on terms of that, but that's not where our primary presence is. I definitely recommend primarily engaging us on the YouTubes, the
Yeah.
Twitches, the
I just
Facebooks.
went to our site right now just to show an example. I don't know why. Another thing people have trouble with is our shopping cart. If you guys go to our shop by just clicking this header here, you can see a lot of sweet merchandise we have, from dice to custom shirt designs that James has done. I mean, hell, Connor just got himself a "Don't Be Salty" shirt for the TO, and he's going to be doing.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. I'm gonna show it to the folks, man.
Okay, cool.
It's super sick. I love it.
Yeah, but as you can see, the site's up, it's working. Whenever you click stuff here, you add it to your cart, and then you go down to checkout, and you can buy stuff, whatever. We certainly appreciate your support. And then of course, another, oh nice, that does look good.
Don't be salty, people. If you
Yeah.
come to the tournament tomorrow, do not be salty. I will just point at the shirt and walk away. Just kidding.
Excellent. Thank you for grabbing that up, Connor.
Oh,
and
yeah, dude.
So I mean, there's lots of ways to the Warp Charge Gaming site primarily right now hosts our store. But as far as our up-to-date information, you're going to find that on Facebook. You're going to find that, where all our videos go to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And then, of course, we have our Patreon, which, if you haven't checked that out yet, we have an awesome system where we reward our patrons. And shit, dude, I think it's pretty much, next week's episode, we will be dropping the next payout. I almost forgot that we owe some rewards to our Patreon members. So we basically give out about $150 in gear every month, going down the list of people that are signed up for our Patreon. So I hope you go check that out. It means the world to us to have your support. Even if you're just tuning in and watching the videos and talking about it and sharing, hey, big thank you. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. James, anything you want to close out with?
Not really. I know a lot of locals are going to Michigan GT this weekend. And then next weekend is Battle Brothers in Cambridge, Wisconsin, which I'm excited for, which these Thousand Sons are for. So
Nice.
that's what's going on with me. And then after that, it's just more corn all the time.
Yeah, make Soul Grinders great again. Connor, we appreciate you joining us, man. Anything you want to close
Dude,
out with?
of course. No, man. Just like you mentioned earlier, I'm gonna be writing some articles for Frontline Gaming, so I'm really pumped about that. And check out the Next Run Gaming show if you guys are interested. We just did a show earlier today, actually.
Hell yeah, you guys do good stuff, man. Well,
Thanks,
everybody, appreciate you guys. It was great seeing you, Tau Dark. It was great having you. All our friends from afar. We had a hello from Germany, PLK 455. Always cool to see you, buddy. Bobby Halls out there in the UK land. All you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back every Thursday like we always are. And many bat reps to come this weekend, so I hope to see you there. But you guys keep taking fun seriously. We'll catch you next time. Peace.